Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. How are you all? I hope you are all well. I still have all my mess from the other day of crafting. And yes, yesterday, I think it was yesterday, the day before, we made this beautiful CD cover to go in a journal with a super big journaling tag. And the day before that, if I can possibly find my other one, yep, here it is. We made this more subtle, beautiful lady to go in our journals. And then today I am going to see if I can make a really grungy kind of yeah, a really grungy collaged vintage looking piece that we can mess around with today. So I'm just looking, I'm definitely going to have some of my stencils in play today. I've decided it is time to crack open these. I did treat myself to these because I've coveted them for so long. So I decided that yes, I would definitely treat myself to one of these beautiful Tim Holtz stencils. So we're going to be using that today. I'm thinking that I may just try and get away with it with some non-permanent ink, because I don't really want to stain the entire stencil. But to start with, I'm just going to get some vintage photo, and I've actually ordered some vintage distress oxide because I do think it blends better. So I'm just going to have a play around again with this makeup sponge, which everybody uses, but I'm not having a lot of luck with it. I feel like it's kind of not working for me. Maybe I'm putting too much on my brush. Oh, now I've just torn that. That was a bit rough. Okay, I'm going to start again with another one. It was a little bit rough, I believe. Okay, so I don't know. I'm going to try in the back to start with and see if I can. So you see, I'm kind of getting some distressing, but it is, you can see kind of the point that I put the brush on. Trying it at an angle. Now I've got circles. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about using the distress ink itself. I think it's going to go much better when I've actually got the oxide. So you could tea dye this, obviously, if you wanted to. I'm going to try and find, I'm just searching for it now amongst all of my stuff that I had out the other day. Somewhere I have my blender that goes with it. Okay, I might have to forego that particular blender and just start a new one. Okie dokie. So the first thing I'm going to do is going to be quite heavy with the distress ink. Just going all the way round, just to get rid of this, you know, to really grunge this up. Because I showed you kind of a brightly coloured one, and then a more kind of typical botanical that we might find in our journals. And I'm just going to go around and just see what I can do with this distressing. I'm just going to try and blend a little. I'm not sure it's entirely going to work because, as I say, the ink is fantastic for edging, but I am not entirely convinced it's the best one for blending, simply because you get these marks, whereas with the distress oxide you don't get the blender marks. No matter how hard I try, and whichever angle you come from, you do get some kind of blender mark with this. But you know, you might like that effect. I'm not sure. For me, I like to see it blended out. You know, I've even sort of tried this by, you know, adding water and stuff, but it's just much better with the oxide. If you go over and over an area, you tend to get rid of it. But okay, so we've sufficiently grunged a little, and now I've done that, I'm going to bring in the tea dye, which again is an ink, and I'm just going to go around again with a different colour, just grunging this up as much as I possibly can. And you may find that you've got something else that would grunge this, some other, you know, ink pad or something else you'd like to use. But at the moment I'm just going to try this. I'm just going around, I'm literally just grunging this completely up, as you can see, going all over with the tea dye. which does take some of those circles away a little, but not a huge amount. So now we've grunged all of that up. Let's pop that over there. Quite happy. I'm not too bad with that. This one I'm not going to worry about the back for now. I just want to decorate the front today. So we need some grungy stuff. And for that, I'm just going to see what I have to collage with. Now, I've got some newspaper ads, and I have some kind of vintage writing. What else do we have? I have another one there. Some newsprint. And another one with adverts. We'll just stick with that for now. And obviously I'm going to try and make this as grungy as possible. So if you really are going for a vintage look, then this is what you're going to be after today. This is the kind of look you're going to go for when you're making you're decorating your CD cases. So again, you know, whatever I'm going to use, I'm going to kind of carry on blending with what's on that blender. And I'm just going to tear some pieces and just get ready to kind of, I'm not going to collage this as such, but I am going to make it extremely grungy. Yeah, and kind of go for that real vintage look that lots of us love. So let's see. Okay, so I'm just going to go around the outside of this one. A bit bent there, but that just adds to it. So we're just going to grunge this up a little. Okay, grab my glue. Here it is. Rolling around on my desk somewhere. So I hope you're all having a brilliant day. I've had to brave Aldi today. So that was not fun again. I think I told you last time just how stressful it was, because I am in the vulnerable group, and I actually had a face mask on and a face shield, and I still didn't feel very happy. Because again, there were people without masks on, and yes, they may have a legitimate reason for not wearing masks, but what kind of made me laugh is they were actually in the vulnerable age group. They were in their 60s, 70s, I'd say, actually. I just thought, okay, you know, you're wandering around with it, with no mask on. But the worst thing was, they just don't socially distance. They just don't care. People seem like they just don't care, like it's not going to happen to them. Why do they have to worry? I'm just going to bring that down slightly so that that folds. You know, why do they need to worry? It's all a load of old rubbish. You know, that's the kind of vibe that everybody was giving off, and it just, oh, it was awful. Really awful. Right, I don't know if I'm going to get away with, I'm going to see if I can get away with doing this with just some vintage ink, but I don't know, I'm not going to be able to, because I know that it doesn't dry. So we're going to have to mess up our, maybe I can clean it off quickly. Right, let's go for this. I'm going to use a blender, and I'm just going to go over the stencil, making sure I don't move it, although that wouldn't matter. I've moved it slightly, I think, but that's okay. I'm not going to worry. It is supposed to be grungy. I'll go over that. Oh, I love that. Look at that. That's fantastic. I'm going to quickly grab a wipe in the hope that I can clean my brand new stencil, despite the fact it has the permanent ink on it. You're probably thinking, well, you silly woman. Of course you can, because I've not used the permanent ink before. So I'm just grabbing one. No, it isn't going to clean off. I was right. Oh, well, that's okay. We can cope. Stencils are meant to be used, right? I'll just give it a little rub so I can clean some of it off. There we go. Okay, it's not too bad. It had to be done. It's beautiful. Oh, dear. Yeah, if you want to keep your stencils nice, do not use the permanent ink. So I'm just going to pop the lid back on that one, because I'm quite happy with that. It looks really pretty. Look at that. It was worth the mess. Right, I'm just going to take that off and leave that with that one. I don't use it again on something else. So I'm just going to carry on kind of adding down this side some, I think I want one more piece here. Let's see, here we go. What's this one? That's fine. Just going to grab this, and I'm just going to put another little piece of this this newspaper up here. Kind of, or do I want it down there? I think I might want it in the opposite corner. There we go. Like so. Glad I've got that actually. That's quite handy for my hands. And then let's see what else we've got. We've got this piece of paper. And what I thought we'd do down this corner is, now this video is not for children. Okay, it really is not for children. I'm just going to emphasize that a couple of times because I'm going to use a lighter on this now, if I can find it. So this is not for children to try, please. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to move this out of the way. Now, when you're burning paper, you need to be very careful. You've got no glue open, no glue around you, none of your Fabri-Tac or anything else. And all we're going to do is we're just going to burn the edge of the paper. Don't get frightened and make sure your smoke alarm isn't going to go off. And then all I do is I set it down. And I usually take a piece of card or something like that, and I just pat it off. And I usually do it on my glass, my tempered glass, what do you call it, board, okay? So once I've done that, I'm just going to tear that off, okay? Like so. And then you can see you get a nice edge to that, but please, 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 do not do this around fire alarms, smoke alarms. Do not do it around anything flammable. Just be careful. Make sure you've got water or a fire extinguisher next to you. All of that stuff. Don't be daft, okay? Be safe first. Okay. Right, so now I've done that. I don't know if you can, I hope you can see. It's getting a bit dark now, so I'm going to just turn this light on, guys. I hope this is going to be better for you. There we go. So I'm sorry if that was a bit dark before. We are sorted now. I hope this is a bit better. It's getting a bit strange outside. So I'm just going to put this here. And you're going to get some, you know, ash come off that. You can go around the edges and just, you know, do the rest of it just gently. But you really want that burnt edge to stand out, which it really does. And then we're going to just glue that on. So yes, I am survivor of Aldi once more, but I was a little, oops, that wasn't very clever. But I was kind of a bit frustrated that once again, you know, no one's being challenged. It's all just, you know, if you want to wear one, you can wear one. If you don't want to, that's fine. So it was a bit frustrating, to say the least. And the problem is that all of the, you know, when they say, oh, we open for vulnerable shoppers, that's fine. But not all vulnerable shoppers can be up early in the morning. You know, there's a reason why they're poorly. And mornings are not always good for a lot of people with health conditions. So that's also a little annoying. They're kind of like, oh, but you've got, you know, you've got your own slot for the vulnerable. Yeah, so... Okay, now I'm zipping out all of my fun labels to see what we've got. I need something that's going to go with this and kind of stick with my grungy vibe. Oh, I quite like this one's quite good. Quite like that one. It smells of burning now in my craft room. There's that one too. I think I quite like both of those. Oh, that looks quite nice. Which way around do I want it? So it's just a matter of really, when you're decorating like this, if you're a beginner, there's no right or wrong, but it's just playing around with things until they look right for you. There's never a right or wrong. So don't ever feel like that something you've created isn't right because you haven't done X, Y, and Z. That's, you know, that's just not true. If you like it, if you like the look of it, if you find it aesthetically pleasing, then somebody else will. So, you know, really don't worry if you're not sure. Just go with your gut. You know, go with what you like. If it looks good to you, then, as I say, somebody else is going to think it looks cool. So, you know, we've all, you know, as creators, we've all got our different ideas about what we want. You know, you might be watching one video and I think my friend Terry said, I was telling you, put that there. I talked to you while you're doing your video. And it's true, you know, we can watch videos and say, oh no, I wouldn't have put that there. I'd have put that there. And, you know, but that's the whole point. You know, the whole point of creating ephemera and journals is that everybody's got their own style. So every journal you pick up will be different. Every piece of ephemera you pick up will be different. You know, if somebody's kind of just taken an idea and run with it, it's all going to be quite different from anyone else. So, yeah, you know, I love that about journals. So I'm just having a think that it might be quite nice to have some lace just running along here. That may be too thick because I need to grunge it anyway. So I'm just looking at, so this one. Quite like the idea of it going under there and kind of being a bit grungy. Like so. So I'm probably going to run with that. I'll probably use the 3-in-1 for this because I've run out of fabric tack. It's on order, but I have run out of it. So let's try a bit of that and see if that's any better for. And I do like to, yeah, just run my finger over it a little bit. Okay, so there we go. So I quite like that. And I'm thinking, I'm looking and seeing whether I'd like one of my numbers to put on here. From my kit that's in my Etsy. I've got these little, I'm actually looking for one of the little tags. If you've seen the little kit in my Etsy shop, you'll see that I've got these little tags in there. It may be that I've used them all because I've been crafting a lot of ephemera and they're one of my favourites. That's why I kind of made them. Because I was like, I really like those. Oh, there's a, let's have a look at this. This might be a Tracy. Yeah, I quite like that. There you go. I said I was going to use my own and then I wasn't. Ended up using a Tracy box. Goodness me. I was actually laughing. I'm going to do a video on Etsy actually because to obviously get started, I mean, a lot of people say, oh, you know, there's so many videos. You don't have to pay for adverts. You don't have to have a social media following to get views on Etsy. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do that and all this kind of stuff. But the fact is that you do need to do something to get traffic to your Etsy shop. So obviously I've been doing what I can because I'm new to some social media as well. But I did pay for some Etsy ads. Well, I just looked at my, I'm not kidding you, I'm going to do a video on it. I looked at my Etsy shop the other day in completion, and in the time I've had it, which isn't very long, I think the I think I've made something, I can't remember exactly, but it's like about approximately £150 that it shows you profit. But out of that, the fees, the listing fees, the advertising has come to 136. So for all the months I've been working, I've literally made nothing. So yeah, I'm reassessing Etsy because I've seen a lot of people say I'm not on Etsy anymore. I wouldn't go back on Etsy. Oof, no way. It's not for me. Yeah, just simply because Etsy is so difficult to earn money on. It's that, you know, the fees are very, very high. It's a lot of people just don't enjoy the Etsy experience because they are so expensive. So yes, I'm going to try and do a video on my Etsy experience because if you follow Renee Christine, she's Cupcake Trainings. She's been doing this a very long time, business, social media, etc. She actually did some tests to see if SEO made any difference to Etsy whatsoever, and or how high up you got in the so SEO, I should say SEO is search engine optimization. It just means that it's what people are searching for, and whatever people are searching for, you want to make sure that those words are in your shop. It's as simple as that. In short. And I did test my SEO. I got my SEO spot on. There should be some traffic from my SEO, not lots, because it's not 100% just yet, but I literally have no traffic whatsoever from my SEO. So I've come to the conclusion that Etsy just doesn't care what keywords you have. It's not really important. What they want to see is you make sales, and then the more sales you make, the further up the lists you go, and it's as simple as that. And this is why often you see the same kits by the same people at the top of Etsy, no matter what you put in. Look, I'm not in any way, you know, dissing those people. They've got every right to be there. They've worked to get there. They've got the sales. They've got the social media presence. But if you're a new person joining Etsy and expecting to make money, don't. I think anyone that says you make all this huge amount of money is talking rubbish. It's just not true. To start in 2020, it is just not true at all. Sorry, I'm just looking at whether I want anything on here or whether I've kind of done enough. I quite like the stamp up there. But yeah, I may do a more in-depth video about that because it's an interest and show you my whole account so that you can see. It's just, yeah, it's a bit disheartening because, yeah, there's only so many hours in the day you can work, and I've spent a lot of hours getting my shop ready and I don't know what's going on. But there you go. And the only times I ever get sales is when someone's kind enough to show my items on their channel and they have a huge number of more subscribers, or if I pay for advertising. So yeah, so there's my little whinge about Etsy over with. So there you go so far. So we've got this, we've still got this white background. So what we need to do is to put something in here that's nice and grungy. And what I was thinking was, rather than put paper behind it, I have somewhere in here, I have some lace, and I'm thinking it might be nice to have, well, this extra wide lace, and I'm wondering if it might be nice to have this lace inside there behind it. I probably need two pieces, but that's okay. I'm just wondering whether we, yeah, I'm going to snip it off here. This was gifted to me by a friend. Thank you very much, Lorraine. She just lives up the road from me, and she was like, I thought you could use this. I was like, thank you. I don't get any freebies. I'm not big enough to get freebies on Etsy just yet, so it was really sweet of her. I was like, oh, thank you. She went, I thought you could use it when you're doing things on your YouTube channel. I was like, yes, please. Oh, so that was lovely. Right, so yeah, I think this might look quite nice. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to stick it on. I'm thinking probably the most sensible thing would be to actually open up my envelope, but they are very, very thin. So let's see. I wonder if I can move it up slightly, just a little bit, and then make a cut. That might, and then I can glue that back. I think it just cut. Look, it just comes up that millimetre. So I'm wondering if I'm careful, I might just be able to cut that down there and use that to get this lace in. Yes, indeed. Right, so we want to open it up this way, and then I'm just gonna, just thinking about the best way to, I think it's got to be this 3-in-1, hasn't it? Because it is such a thick piece of lace. So I'm just gonna go down in that bottom corner, and I'm just squidging around all over the place, really. I'll be honest with you, there's no rhyme or reason. And then we'll have to make sure that it doesn't stick itself closed. So, right, so first off, let's put in this piece, and I'm just going to see if I can slide it down the bottom there and kind of pull it over. It's not going to be easy with the 3-in-1. If you've used 3-in-1, you know why, from Fabri-Tac, because it glues quite quickly, so you have to move quite quickly. Oh, and it's stinging a cut on my finger. Ouchie. Oh dear, that's the problem when you've got sore fingers. Right, ouch, that's sore. Okay, then we need to put another piece in here. We just cut that in half. We can use that on another project. So, yeah. See if my Fabri-Tac is still wet, which it looks like it is. There we go. Lovely. And then I'm going to try and seal this back down. And this will be a miracle if I manage this. You're rooting for me though, aren't you? Come on, guys. Right, we're just going to slide some glue along there, first of all. And then I'm not going to worry about any overspill. And then I'm going to just smooth it down with my fingers. And it doesn't matter if there's sticky glue on it or anything like that. We can always cover it with another piece of paper. Yep, that's worked. Happy with that. So you can just cut it down that small piece there. And it should stay put. And then if you want to, you can trim this off. I'm not going to. I quite like that. Right, so there we go. And then, obviously, if you want to put something in this envelope, then you've got the background of the tag. Let's find the background of the lace. Let's see if we can find a tag that might go with it. So I have another big one here. It's like a receipt. Might be a bit too big. You might not see anything of the lace. Yeah, that's a bit too big. Okay. Right, I'm just hunting around for something that might work. Let's see. I have a whole pile of ephemera here. It's all in kind of neutral colours. I've now decided to actually sort my ephemera by colour. It's a bit easier. Let's see if we can put that one in. And so you could put one down the side, like so, or you could put another pocket on the back. I think I'm going to do that because I like this. I mean, whoever the owner of the journal is can put it down there. That's not a problem. The only thing I'm unhappy about is this seems to have rubbed off as we've been working. You know, the design we had where I've moved it and kind of moved it around. I can't see it on the plastic anymore, so I probably should have let that dry a bit longer. But that's okay. You live and learn. I still like this, but the pattern on the plastic seems to have gone. I probably should have left that a little bit longer to dry before we started playing around with it. But you know, you could go over and stamp that again. That's not a problem. So on the back here, let's see what we've got. I've still got some of this paper. I'm wondering if we could just collage with some of this. I'm just going to go around the outside and quickly collage a little bit of this paper on here. Yeah, that's fine. And then we'll grab some more of these adverts and just tear those. Like so. You can distress them as well if you want to. I'm not going to worry about that just now because I'm going to put a pocket over it anyway. So just pull out all your scraps if you've got any neutral scraps and things, and just go crazy with your glue. Let's see what we have. Another piece here I can probably tear up. There we go. Lovely. So yeah, I mean you can just keep going with your pieces of paper until you've got it the way you want it. You don't have to completely cover it if you don't want to. It's totally up to you. If you want to collage over the whole thing. We've got this pretty piece here, which I think I'm going to put upside down. There we go. Okay, so now I've done that, you can just go over with your blender catch all those edges. Okay, like so. And then I'm going to take one piece of ephemera and create a pocket out of that. Let's see what we've got. This one a bit smaller, same size. It's a touch smaller, but not quite small enough. Oh, look at that. A nice grungy pocket that fits perfectly. It's great what you find in your stash, isn't it? Okay, so we're going to use that. Go all the way around, get it nice and grungy. There we go. And we're going to just quickly do our pocket. Like so. Put that on the back there. Make sure you're covering all that white. Okay. I'm just going around and just grunging up any edges I don't like the look of. And then I think I'm going to cut this off. Different from what I did with the other two. I'm just going to snip that off. Like that. And then we're going to grab this large bill. I'm going to pop that in the back. And again, you can put paper on this. On the back of here is a large journaling card, or you could grab a slightly smaller one and pop in the back there. Let's make sure that's stuck down. And again, I'm going to go all the way around the outside. Just make sure that's all grunged up. And pop that in there. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. And obviously the other side you could put your lined paper or whatever it is you want to do, or you can have it turned this way, whatever you want really. But for now I'm going to put it that way just while I decorate it. Find some more big, oh I like that. It's one of Tina's at Shabby Dabby Doodah. She knows I do like her kits, especially her number labels. And there we go. I'm just looking to see. Yeah, I think I want a piece of this lace again. So I'm just going to put a piece of that on there. There we go. And I'm going to go for it with this other label. And it just needs glue taking off. There we go. Just there. Or we're going to need fabric tack for this as well. I think we might do. Okie dokie. And then just looking to see if we've got a little one. Yep. Go for that one as well. Just along there. There you go. Okay, there we go. One very grungy envelope. Cover the back here so that you can have grungy this side. You could even grab another piece of ephemera and put on the back. Should we do that? That looks perfect size. Oh yes. All right, I'll do it quickly and show you what I mean. There we go. I'm just going to grab this and let's see which way we want to go. Yeah, up in that corner. And then we're going to snip that off. All covered in fabric tack now. Oh dear. Okay, there we go. So you've actually got, oh that is stuck. You've actually got somewhere to write now. So if we pop that in the back, oh, not before I do a bit of that though. Okay, put it that way. A corner of glue coming up there. There we go. one very grungy CD altered case. So there we go. That's the 3 that I've done for this little mini series. So you can have your grunge. Let's just move all this out of the way so you can see. Whoops. And all the other grunge out of the way so that you can see. And I will find the other 2 envelopes to remind you of what we've done so far. Here we go. So we had grungy, and then we had full-on colour, and then our first one was the botanical. So you can see you can get 3 very, very different looks from the same simple CD case. You know, and they can look very, very different in your journals. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Let's make sure you can see all of them. Just going to come down a little so that you can have a closer look. So we had our pretty lady, our botanical style, and then we had our very, very colourful birds with our vellum paper inside. I hope you can see that. It's not too shiny. I think I've got it about there. There you go. And then finally our grungy vintage looking one, which I actually really love. There you go. So pick up some CD cases when you're next out, or when you're next on Amazon, and just play around with them. Just, you know, you make several different ones. Maybe you'll come up with like a steampunk one, or, you know, just nothing but wildflowers, or something completely different. And I'd love it if you'd share any that you make on my Instagram page. That would be fantastic. The link to that is in the description. Hope you enjoyed that, guys. I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care.